welcome to the Geek Legion edition. This is going to be my DVD and Blu-ray update for the month of November 2020. Actually, a little bit of a cheat because I got a couple of titles tied up on the 1st of December when I'm filming this, but I had yet to done my end of month collection, so I just bung them in here. It's not as big as most months because obviously it being Christmas, the run up to Christmas, I'm buying presents, so can't spend quite as much on myself. So let's get started. Just a couple of DVDs to go through. I did a video a little while ago about my favourite found footage movies, underrated found footage movies. And while I was kind of looking up some sort of get trailers and images and stuff, I came across this one, which was kind of apparently quite highly rated, which I had never heard of before. It's not an English language one. So I tracked down the DVD and picked it up. Now I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it on at some point to review, and I have no idea what it is about, and I will not look at it before I've actually watched it. Second DVD is actually a DVD steelbook, and this is Session 9. I am a big fan of haunted hospitals, asylums, things like this. This is a really well regarded one. Now I'll be honest with you, I'm not as a bigger fan of this one as some, but it's not often that you see kind of a steelbook for this, so I thought I would pick it up because I do have, and you'll see a couple of other instances of these in a minute where I'm trying to get all the kind of like the haunted haunted hospital movies that I can, because it's one of my favourite subgenres. So yeah, Session 9, very well regarded, slow burn, more of a psychological horror film. There you go. So that is I think it's like a Danish steelbook or Dutch, somewhere like that. Speaking of haunted asylums, this one is Penhurst. This was actually directed by Michael Rooker. Now, I mistakenly said that he had directed a movie in my top 10 found footage underrated ones, but I was thinking of this one, and I didn't actually have it upon doing that video. I realised I didn't actually have this one. Now, in Germany, they do this kind of like loosely connected series, Paranormal Investigations. They're actually like completely unrelated movies that they just bung into this kind of franchise, so to speak. And yeah, to be honest with you, it's not one of the better ones, but it was quite cheap, and I thought I kind of want to pick up all of these because there's not loads of them. I wanted to pick up as many as I can, so I wanted this for the collection. So that's Penhurst. Some Blu-ray steelbooks. Obviously, the Force Awakens. This is the Zavi 4K one. Out of the new films, I like this one the best. I think it it certainly had the most amount of screen time for the original trilogy characters, with obviously Han and Leia, and obviously that second of Luke. But more or less a kind of retelling of the first film. I like the art of this one as well. I don't really like the two sequels, to be honest with you. And even this one, I thought, do I want to watch it? Not really. So there you go. This is the I actually got a spare Blu-ray steelbook case for The Empire Strikes Back. Now, I bought the original Empire Strikes Back 4K steelbook when it first came out, but apparently it had some kind of scratching on it over here, and to be honest with you, this one still does. Whatever, to be honest with you, that kind of minor level doesn't really bother me, to be quite honest. Yeah, so it's literally just a blank steelbook. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, to be quite honest with you, but there you go. Halloween. Now, this is the 4K re-release steelbook. Now, I don't have a 4K player. I don't intend to get one. I personally feel 4K shows up faults that kind of otherwise, gets movie magicked away. So I don't really like them, to be honest. I appreciate they're a high quality, but for me, I think it takes away some of the kind of the movie magic. So, but I have inevitably bought a few 4K steelbooks because the releases I've wanted have been on, have 4K. And I didn't actually have the original Halloween. I was going to buy the first one, the kind of the pumpkin design on it, but I thought the artwork on this one was so strong. I thought, I just love the kind of the way he's disappearing into the kind of the autumn leaves. I thought it was such a strong steelbook. I didn't pre-order it, but they had some back in stock when it first came out, and I managed to use a discount code of this, so I actually got it for a little bit cheaper. Blade Steelbook. So this might look like the standard steelbook that you would have got here in the UK, but it isn't. This, once again, my friends, is a story of people not putting stuff on eBay properly. This is actually the Japanese version of the Blade movie steelbook. Now, there is 3 versions, all with a similar cover. The Canadian version, which was the first one come out, is easily detectable because it's got this blue kind of Blu-ray thing up here. Then Zavi released it. Well, actually, this one came next, and then Zavi later released a version, but that one you can tell because it has like an embossed border. This one is actually the Japanese version, and I don't know how well this will show up, but you can see on here it says Warner Brothers JP Japan. So this guy just had it as a Blade steelbook. Didn't actually. It's got little postcards and stuff in there. Didn't actually realise he had the Japanese version, and in fact, in the description, he said he thought it came from Play.com. It didn't. I picked that up. I mean, you have to know what you're looking for to kind of pick that one up. This one actually goes quite a lot of money if properly descripted. But this one, like I said, wasn't described properly, and I got it for less than £10. That's probably because everyone was waiting for this one. Now, this is the 4K Blade steelbook. Now, Zavi actually done a kind of premium version, I suppose. And this one comes with a slipcase, which is obviously what you can see here. And maybe you may even pick up the actual standard steelbook from Germany or somewhere, so I have kind of both art. Anyway, it comes with, the same old art cards and all of that. Blade is actually one of my favourite Marvel films. To this day, it's probably in my top 5 Marvel films. Absolutely love this movie. And I'm pleased to see it getting, a different design, because we've had 3 steelbooks, all with the same design. So I was pleased to kind of get this new one. And I actually quite like this this slipcase as well. I'm not a big fan of slipcases, really. I just think people, they charge extra for a bit of paper, and I have a bit of a problem with that. But I actually do like the design on this one, probably more so than the actual steelbook itself. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I picked up the Mondo version of the Terminator 2. There's actually 2 versions of this. You may have seen this one in my Arnold Schwarzenegger Steelbook collection. So this is the standard version, or red version as it's known. There is a variant which is kind of green and has a slightly different graphics on it. So it's a Canadian one, I want to say. Canadian Best Buy. So people are going crazy for Mondo Steelbooks at the moment. Total Recall, this is the Steelbook, 4K Steelbook that came out, and newly commissioned artwork. A lot of the time I actually prefer the original artwork, but there are occasions where I do feel some of the artwork, for example, is better on the, the newly commissioned stuff. And I got to say, I actually quite like this with the more of the entire cast here. And, this is Schwarzenegger in his prime, to be honest. And, a really, really good movie overall. Obviously, they remade it with Colin Farrell some years later, which in itself wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything compared to this. Really pleased to have that. They obviously did the box set as well, which is really nice, I've got to say. And if I hadn't had a big steelbook collection, I probably would have got the box set. But steelbooks are my kind of thing, so I went for that. This one also came today, so this is a little bit of a cheek. This actually turned up in December, and this is the Blue Fans World War Z, and I got this for £8 on eBay. Couldn't believe it. It's the cheapest I've ever seen anything go from for Blue fans, to be honest with you, on eBay. It has got a little bit of a dent there, but to me that's relatively minor. It's limited to 500 pieces, and I didn't have this movie, to be honest with you. It's obviously one of the more mainstream horror films. Got your art cards and stuff in there. So yeah, you know, I've always wanted to pick it up. I just thought, I'll bid. It was the first bid for £8. Comes to the slipcase. Didn't think I'd win it, but I did. There you go. And my final piece is this Cyborg VHS style Blu-ray edition. And this one I saw in a Facebook ad, and I don't normally like clicking on Facebook ads, to be honest with you. But I really, again, I like the kind of this newly commissioned artwork here, which has hints of the original artwork, but slightly redesigned. And I actually quite like these faux VHS sort of sets that you get. There's actually a French one. Now, a lot of people don't like French stuff because a lot of the time they have the subtitles burned in the actual, you know, the actual film itself. You can't turn them off. I'm not sure about this one. I haven't actually played it, so I'm not quite sure. It does actually come with a good amount of the stuff, and it's not just a normal, like, oh, look, it's art card. It's things we've made out of paper, and it's just, you know, there's actually some like magnets and things like that. It's quite good. Nice, chunky, weighty kind of package. And I believe it was limited to 500 pieces, so I do think there's still some available. It's from a company called ESC, and they actually do a bunch, especially of Van Damme stuff. Yeah, if you're a Van Damme fan, I'd recommend checking it out. They've got like Hard Target and a few other films of his as well on there, all in these kind of VHS sort of style ones. But Cyborg, to me, always had a special place because it reminded me of when I was young and watched this stuff on VHS. And that is it for my collection update for November. So relatively small. But thank you for watching. Please let me know what you thought about any of these editions, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.